All right, I'm starting off this morning adding some oil to it because we ran it the other day just for a little bit, and that was enough to allow some oil to circulate up through the engine. And speaking of running the bike yesterday, I am still riding the high of that sound, man. Love the way that bike sounds. All right, so now we've managed to check off our list that the bike actually runs the way it's supposed to. We now need to get some coolant in there. So I've got distilled water here, some coolant, and all the manual says, I mean, I know nowadays we're used to vehicles and stuff that have very specific types of coolant. There's like oat type, dextron, whatever. But the manual just says ethylene glycol based coolant. That's it. It's very vague. You have to hunt even just to find the reference to ethylene glycol. And a 50-50 ratio. That's it. I just remembered that I've got this special mixing bucket here. So we're going to use this thing. How beautiful. All right, now I need... Perfect. Oh my God. We are professionals around here. Check that out. All right, so our little motorcycle is supposed to take, in terms of the volume or capacity of coolant, the radiator and engine are supposed to absorb 2.75 liters or 2.9 quarts. The reserve tank, the coolant overflow tank, as I call it, is it's supposed to take 0.45 liters or half a US quart. All right, so first we're going to start at the radiator cap here, which is on the right-hand side of the bike. There's still a lot of unknown variables on this bike. I hate to say this, because I don't want to jinx us, but we took the whole system apart. All these coolant tubes have been off and on and whatnot, and so I'm sure there'll probably be a leak somewhere. One of these bands will need to be tightened up a little, just a little bit more somewhere. And I don't know is that like the radiators themselves, whether or not these are gonna leak. It's possible. I mean, this wasn't an accident. This side specifically took a lot of impact. This is the side that has the hole in the engine. I mean, we were sliding over here. So I'm hoping this doesn't leak, but once we get pressure in it, we will know. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I like to set my expectations pretty low here. But yeah, let's get some fluid in here, and then all we can do is try and find out, you know? But boy, isn't this fun though, right? God. This is a big moment because this is like seriously getting the bike back to life, man. Oh, I'm hearing water dripping. Fuck. Oh, God. Yep. Yep. We got water coming out of there. Crap. I forgot to install hose. Fuck. But yeah, when we took the throttle body off to clean our fuel injectors, we forgot to reinstall this coolant hose from the throttle body, basically. All right, let's hope that works. I mean, we needed to take this off anyways because we're supposed to put coolant in this thing as well. Our coolant line is the one that runs right here. This guy right there is our coolant line, and that's the one we forgot to put back on. It basically runs down to the engine and then it runs up to the bottom of the throttle body. And so when you take that throttle body off, this guy here, you've got to disconnect that. All right, so let's try that again, huh? All right, more coolant in hand. Here we go. The benefit is that maybe that leak over there helped bleed out a whole bunch of air, right? All right, we are full over here. All right, now we've got our coolant overflow tank, and I'm noticing now that this looks like it's cracked. So I don't know if this will, man, I don't think that's gonna hold fluid. Well, I need to order another one. All right, we've got a leak in our cooling system. Right there, on the very bottom, we've got a leak. I think it's I suspect the O-ring for our water pump, which is right here. That means I gotta drain the entire cooling system out. I kind of had this thought where I was like, maybe I should just put distilled water in it first and find the leaks and then flush that out. Should listen to myself more. But I found the source of the leak where the O-ring's supposed to go around the water pump there, right at the very bottom. There's a little bit of a chunk of the O-ring. Then you can see, hopefully the remainder of the O-ring is on this side. And apparently when I put this thing on, I pinched the bottom of it or something. Because that's a brand new O-ring. I gotta order another O-ring. All right, so what we got in the mail was all this stuff here. I've got a new coolant reservoir because I found a crack in the old one. We've got our O-ring, and I've got a bolt for the coolant housing because the one that's on there is a little wobbly. It's bent, it looks like somehow. And I don't think it actually would affect the functionality. I think it will hold down the water housing no problem. But I just didn't like it. And since I was ordering parts, I would like this bike to be nice in my own way, mechanically perfect. So I want to throw all this stuff on the bike today and then start that sucker up. Here is our new one. Look how nice. All right, so our coolant housing, it's right here. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this, but we got a little chunk of our O-ring, what was left of it over there. Here is the rest of our O-ring, this guy. So not really working too good there. Here's our new one. Very excited to have this. Man, we were so close to getting the coolant in here, running this thing and test riding this thing the other week, and we just had this O-ring just stop us dead in our tracks. So I'm gonna put some silicone lube on this O-ring, and then we'll get this guy installed on there very carefully. All right, my new bolt, a beautiful new bolt. All right, so we got 4 bolts on this thing. 2 of them just go into the cover itself, and 2 of them go into like into the engine in the back. Those 2 that go into the whole engine, we tighten those down first. It's these 2 here. All of them get tightened to 9 foot-pounds. I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall this guy. All right, so now we can start putting coolant back in the system here. See how far we get this time. We've had 2 leaks so far. I was really expecting minor, just like hose clamps, loose kind of thing. Instead, we had some major stuff where we had to repair. And a broken O-ring is major when you're this close to starting the bike. All right, so we got it filled at the radiator. I mean, we got it filled all the way up there. And then the last bit is to fill up this guy here. So we want to fill it all the way up to this top line here. All right, so our instructions for bleeding the air out of the coolant system are as follows. Basically, first leave the cap off the radiator. That I'm questioning at the moment. Shift the transmission into neutral. Turn the bike on. Yes. Run the bike for 2 to 3 minutes. Snap the throttle a couple times. Turn the engine off and add more coolant if necessary. Put the radiator cap back on. We've been waiting a week for this. Get my little stopwatch out. Just sounds so magical. It's like, and it kind of like shakes the whole room too. It is awesome. The radiator cap thing, it didn't sound right to me. And yeah, it heats up, it expands, and this stuff, it just starts dripping out over here. So, and I got a bunch of smoke. I assume that that's all just stuff burning off. Like fluids and stuff that I have spilt on there that are just burning off at this point. That's what it seems like. It's either that or I have an exhaust leak, but I would think that would be audibly more obvious. I don't hear an exhaust leak. So yeah, I'll let stuff cool down here and we'll see where our fluid level goes. We didn't have any expansion over here because our radiator cap was off. So yeah, we'll see how it goes with fluids, see how they should drop down in here a little bit, and we'll add some more in and run this thing again probably. But man, it sounds great.